Tell me if the Steins joined. Tell me if the Steins joined. See, I just sent them the email for it. Steins. Yes, yes.
Venus on it's also from, oh, and Andrea. And Andrea.
I give us a seat.
But I'll let you know.
Look at that.
Hi, Andrea. Hi, Venus.
Angie?
Andrea.
Andrea, okay.
And
Let me see. I'm looking at you from an angle.
Oh, yeah, I know that. So, they put one in. There's treated like that, but then for
put that on. Yeah.
No, it's not coming.
Yeah.
You've got one son that's here today, and is leaving tomorrow, and the other one's coming.
What you can see.
It's great and cheery day.
I could see my husband today.
Oh, good. How's it doing?
Yeah. It was our anniversary yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't go yesterday, it was raining down there.
That was nice.
Every time I think.
That's nice.
That's nice. About 15. It's a good place.
Yeah. Well, Marty's, Marty's work is the same way too.
I just feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, thank you.
The green wasn't very good.
This one shouldn't be too long either.
Sure. Thank you. When you say if the Trish will meet, I'll read. Oh, I can. Yeah. We paid it like, everybody started paying extra money like now.
There's no extra money.
But we had to pay. Like.
We came back from home by keeping it that's flat. So there's no exception.
Okay. January, we'll be looking at.
It could be, but we're not. Right now, we're trying to.
Okay,
we're
can I
trying
get
to-
her maybe 13?
That was originally,
She's president down
it's, I
here.
think it was
And they got together and everything.
something to that effect,
Somebody
but that should be the map,
to do it.
okay?
And they let them work for
But
about 2 days.
one of the things we're gonna talk about tonight very briefly is the flood insurance, that's $94,000.
A lot of that stuff is-
And next year is gonna be more. If we can, that take us to our condo, we don't have to have citizens no longer required of it. So, because they're not requiring it, we don't need to have it. They just changed this week. It just changed.
Just what they were doing it, 26, whatever.
Yeah, and
Really?
anybody that has citizens for their homeowners, that just went into, as long as you're in the flood, but you're not in the flood zone, we're not in the flood zone.
So they're saying, okay, so
You don't, it's not required anymore.
even if you have citizens,
Correct,
homeowners and.
correct.
Really?
Yes.
Why did they do it about things?
I think because of all the people jumping up and down and screaming. You know, because if you're in the flood zone, why would you need it? That doesn't even make sense.
And then, you know, okay, once in 100 years.
Exactly. Question of this. We'll have a tsunami that comes through.
Yeah. Probably not.
Okay, 20 seconds. Okay, call to order. And we stand for the pledge. You can sit down.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Marty? Huh? Could you stop the roll call?
Yeah, Marty Dowell. Luciano.
I am Wagner.
Rich Gomez,
Kathy Rogers?
I don't say anything. I'm not a board.
Well, you're here.
Okay, I'm here. Linda Williams.
Okay. And Frank, okay. All righty, recording? Anybody else?
and Zoom.
And Zoom, okay. Let's see, turn off, or silence phones, please, and no crosstalk, and, I can't read my writing. I think that was it. Okay, the recording is only Greg Shank, I'm sorry,
Microphone.
thank you. I can do that. Okay, Secretary, or actually Trish is going to read the meeting minutes. I had it right at my mouth, touching my lips, so. Well, it's on, must not be on.
Yes, I know. I don't need it.
It's not working.
People can hear me. These lights on.
Oh, Caroline, I couldn't see who you were. I'm only seeing you from your half glasses up. Okay, there you are. Deborah, Andrea, okay. And Lena and Ruth Paxton's as well. Oh, and there's Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, you can hear us now. Okay, that's good. All righty. So. I'll
Board
hold
of Directors meeting minutes, May the 17th, 2023. Call to order 10 a.m. Pledge, reminders, recording, Patricia Gomez and Greg Schenk. Present, Kathy Rogers, Sebastian Buster Luciano, Winnie Young, Frank Hansen, Art Cardillo, Patricia Gomez on Zoom, Linda Williams, the POA rep. Absent, Diane Waguera, Harry Marley Fowler. Secretary, minutes read from April the 19th, 2023. Meeting motion approved by Buster and seconded by Art. All approved. President, introduced Anthony Ballinger, insurance agent. Flood insurance and new roofs. Water use has increased by 30% from 2022. Suggestions on where to look for leaks. Reminder, closed May the 29th, Memorial Day. Vice President, car decals. Check to make sure they work properly, continuing to affix them. Treasurer's report. Art Cardillo gave the report in Diane's absence. In line with April 2023. Increase in water leaks, therefore increase in spending and deficit. Building. Frank plans to make sure water is turned off in the units of absentee owners. Check snowbirds, toilets, and sinks for leaks. Please inform the office if you have issues with water leaks. Recreation. We have more people using the pool, and the fees will increase from $600 to $1,000 on June the 1st, 2023. Anthony Ballinger suggested changing to a seawater system to save costs on chemicals in a pool person. POA report, read by Linda Williams and is attached. Next POA meeting is June the 15th, 2023. New business. Anthony Ballinger spoke about flood insurance, new roofs, and how it will affect our insurance. Art spoke about financing for 32 new roofs. Special meeting Wednesday, May the 24th, 2023 at 10 a.m. to review, approve, and sign contracts to finance new roofs and install new roofs. Motion by Buster and seconded by Art to adjourn the meeting. All approved. Adjourned 11:30 a.m.
All in favor? Opposed?
That next one. Special board of directors meeting, May the 24th, 2023 minutes. Call to order 10 a.m. Fedge, present, Art Cordilla, Frank Hansen, Marty Fowler, Sebastian Buster, Luciana, and Winnie Young. Absent, Kathy Rogers, who was sick, Diane Guerrero, who was on vacation. Special meeting to discuss roofing and roof finance only. Art. Our insurance will not be renewed next year due to the age of the roofs. Therefore, we will replace the remaining 37 roofs this year. Motion by Winnie, seconded by Frank to approve the contract with all area roofing of Fort Pierce for replacing the remaining 37 roofs. All approved. Art is continuing to arrange for financing for this project, $1,200,000 to be paid off over 10 years. Details pending. Motion by Buster, seconded by Winnie to adjourn. All approved. Adjourned at 10:35 a.m. These minutes were prepared from the Zoom recorded meeting.
So we're good?
Second that.
All in favor? Opposed? All righty. So President, okay, the office is going to be closed on July 3rd and 4th, which is the week after next, in celebration of 4th of July. The next big thing is that the flood insurance discussion, as Anthony, when he was here at the last meeting, mentioned about the insurance that we have, the flood insurance. Okay. Hear me now? Okay. All right. The flood insurance, we discussed the flood insurance and the price of the flood insurance. Since that last meeting, in fact, it just happened this week, Citizens, who is the one that we have our insurance through, has no longer required that flood insurance has to be purchased by an organization that is not in a flood zone. We're not in a flood zone. However, our condo docs, if you recall, we had put that question in there to say, instead of saying we must purchase flood insurance, we may. Okay, that's all we wanted to do is just change that. Okay, so I think this is something that we as a board are considering to do again, is to send out again with a clearer explanation of what that means. Okay, is that it doesn't mean we won't ever get flood insurance. It just means that we're not compelled to get it. Okay, this year was $94,000 for the insurance. Last year was $80,000, if I recall. Is that right, Diane? 80,000? Like it was okay, so it's gone up significantly, and it's only fair to assume that the same thing's going to happen next year. So if we don't need it, if we've determined that we don't need it, then let's have that option to not have to be compelled to get it. Okay, we'll do all of our due diligence. We'll do all of our, background checking on it and all that kind of stuff, what the consequences are and everything else. I'm not saying we're doing that, or I'm not saying, all I'm saying is that we're going to send it back out again for the condo docs. We have a couple of other questions as well that we want to talk about. There was some misunderstandings, I think, on that question that was on the that changed the condo docs, and there was another one too that was a misunderstanding. I think the $25,000 one that we had on there that we could use up to $25,000. That was only for structure changes, meaning that if we wanted to add an indoor pool, okay, here, that would be a structure change. Okay, well, that would be something that over $5,000 right now. If it's over $5,000, we have to bring that to the board. So anyway, there was that question. And there was another one that we wanted to add to, and I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but we'll get our act together. We'll get it all together and present it to the our residents, obviously, to send out again for a vote. Let's see. Yes. Within 4 inches? No.
Yeah, like, isn't it something quite close that we're very close to being an actual flood zone?
We're in the lowest one. Okay, that's the one. There's another one that we could be in. That's an intermediate kind of thing that is in a kind of sort of in a flood zone, but not bad. But we're in the one that says, no, we're not in a flood zone. There's an X and an XA.
And so what happens if the flooding in your river is preserved water? So if we get flooded.
Okay, Lynn,
here,
we're gonna, I don't know all the
take
answers.
us through all of the costs of the exterior stuff that would now not be covered if we don't.
Yes,
We need a detailed agenda about that.
yes, and I think what I'm gonna
And
do,
that should also go out to people. Because, you know,
okay, please don't imply that that's what we're trying to do, because we're not trying to do that. Okay. Well, we did,
It's a pretty big deal if if this whole place is flooded, and we don't have flood insurance. We have a pump that we don't even own, that we pay for, that we don't have a key for. You know, the list goes on. of
That's been
things that
fixed.
insurance-
okay, the pump has been fixed, it's been repaired. It had no crack in it, just so that it's an FYI to people, that I know it's not on the agenda, but it was not a crack. It was the seals. The seals had dried out, and that's why it was leaking.
Is that correct?
Did we fix the 50-year-old pump? Yes, and that 50-year-old pump has been certified to be as good as something brand new. Okay, so there's nothing at all wrong with it. It's been certified. You can talk, but more
And
specifics.
we have access to it. We have a key.
We don't have a key, but we have access to it in that we have, what's her name?
Oh, can't believe.
Barb lives across the street from me, and she's the decision maker. Okay, and she's checking it every morning, and anytime that there's any kind of rain, she's checking it. I've seen her. I don't know if you people have seen her. She's from Section 1. She is, and that was her profession before. Okay, she did that kind of stuff before, so she's the perfect person to have in that role right now, and she's taken it very, very seriously. It's not loosey-goosey like it was before. Within just a week and a half, 2 weeks, she had taken a look at the pump to see what was wrong with it, and she got the right person in there, and now we have the right person that comes in. He comes in at least once a month or once a week. Once a month, okay, comes in once a month and turns it on and does all that kind of stuff. So there's a checklist that's being followed. It's much more, like I said, it's not loosey-goosey anymore. It's,
And who's responsible for cleaning the gutters?
yes,
And so when was the last?
when the gutters are clean,
Yeah.
I have no idea when you've had yours cleaned.
No, I'm not talking about the gutters on the. road.
Don't forget to repeat what she's saying, because the Zoom people can't hear.
Oh,
Much time as we can. We try to
Say
get.
we don't want to retry that today.
I'm sorry.
You started this by mentioning.
Yeah, I'm talking about the drains, because I now my yard.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not.
All right.
All
right. What's going on right now is, yes, all of the drains are being checked. Okay, all the water has been checked, all that kind of stuff. We have lists of responsibilities that are being taken care of. So if we can have a private talk, okay? Because this comes up at every,
What's wrong with
I'm just
your,
curious if it's.
what is wrong with your yard? Yeah.
It's floating from the
Oh,
rain.
wow. It's been raining every night.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I got water, I've been there and it swishes, I got so much water in my yard.
Well,
It's been wet here every night. And we can translate nothing to do with that on Fridays. But it's a big place. We don't get signed.
okay, the question is, yes, are the drains being taken care of? Yes, they are. Have we had professional people to come in here to clean out some of the drains? Yes, we have. Okay, so all those kinds of things. All you have to do is shoot us an email. We respond to you, Lynn. Okay, so if you have a question like this, if anybody else wants to know any question, there's nothing being hidden here. This, it's all upfront, okay, and a lot of things are going on right now. So if you have a question, please don't hesitate, again, to come to the office.
As far as I know, see, I've lived here 30 odd years, and we never had water get in, other than a screen porch. Never got up that high where it's got into a porch.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
No.
control where the rain falls. You can't control where the rain is going to gather, okay? We've had professional people, okay, that have gone out there and have checked every single one of our,
We don't have any down with those rates. And, you know, I don't think that's.
yes, we do now.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, if we see anything plugging it, we're clearing it out.
And it really gets filled up there. One time I had to go out there and put all that stuff off myself.
Well, again,
Yeah.
okay, well, work order. Work orders are in the office, fill out the work order and we'll check it.
Keeps raining the way it is, it's gonna get more too. Because ground's saturated.
Yeah,
It's in control.
okay, real estate. We have 2 that sold, 123A and 1202C. We have 4 for sale right now, and we have 3 rentals that are in process. Okay, Vice President?
Okay, I got a few things that I want to go over with you. Expect everybody to have a plan in case we do get. You can't hear me without the microphone?
Can the Zoom people hear you without the microphone?
Okay,
I hear you.
okay, we have
Oh, that's good.
we need a plan, or you guys need a plan in case we have a hurricane. The best way to do it is, have somebody available to help you close your shutters if you can't do it yourself. We don't, as the association, don't close the shutters for you. You have to get yourself somebody to do it. And if you're leaving the premises because of a warning that people said, you know, you must leave, tell somebody that you're leaving. And if you want, we can put these signs up there, knowing that the building is going to be unoccupied, or if you want to keep it occupied. This is for first responders, when they come and they see a sign on the door, unoccupied, they don't have to worry about getting in. And also, if you leave, you have to have a plan. You have to, if you're going to go overnight to somewhere, get away from here, remember to pack yourself a bag with meds, your insurance cards, anything that you would need in case of emergency. Keep a charger in your car, both for electric and for car input. In other words, have an extension that you can use to charge your car if you went to a hotel, or you charge your phone if you went to a hotel or somebody's house. Make sure that you have that available. If you do charge, always keep your phone charged. If we're expecting a a storm, because you might lose power. And if you're gonna keep your charged, don't use your phone to play games if we do have a backup. People use it, oh, I'll play the game to keep myself occupied. Also, have batteries or flashlights. Never use candles when you go to sleep. You can have it if you're having a candlelight dinner, but never use candles if you're going to sleep. My also suggestion is keep plastic water bottles in the freezer. They work better than bags of ice. Because if it defrosts, you'll have just cold water. But if it defrosts when you have a bag of ice, you're going to have a bag full of water. Nowhere to go with it. Always have extra food, things that don't charge electric, such as peanut butter and jelly, crackers, canned fruit. Have your barbecue tank full, just in case you lose electric. And also, this is another thing that happens. People go on Facebook and they tell people, yeah, I'm leaving, I'm going to my aunt's house, I'll be gone for a week. Facebook is notorious for criminals looking at that to see what a place that they can come. Don't let that, and another thing, and I'm responsible for this, don't give out names. Like I do, oh, it's my grandson's birthday today, and I say how old he is, you know. They get all this information and they can come and do damage. They can always, they're looking to try and scam you, so be careful. And that's about it. But again, have a plan, have somebody that you can tell them that you're going to be gone or you're staying. And if anybody's available to help somebody, some neighbors, do it. You know, if you can, help them. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, we're pretty much in line with as we have been for the last 4 months. We're still 3% under budget. And once again, certain items will be over budget by the end of the year, and mostly that's utilities and I forget what else. Utilities and the pool service, pool recreation. Other than that, everything's fine. Art is still looking into financing the roofs, which we should hopefully have done within the next couple of weeks, certainly by sometime in July. And other than that, everything's going according to schedule. It's on the financials are on the website if you want to look at them in detail.
The roofs. The roofs have been completed up till now with the last 9. As you heard earlier, we borrowed the money to do the other roofs that will start within a week after we get our money. We are continuing to look for water leaks. So if anybody has a toilet or anything that they think is leaking, we'd be happy to come by and look at it. Gone through the buildings where the people are gone for the year and found a number of leaky toilets and other bad water heaters. So please check your stuff and let us know. The other thing is we had 5 units we couldn't get into because the keys were not the proper keys. Make sure the office has the right keys for your place. And we'd like to start looking in the buildings with residents to look for leaks. So that may be coming very, very shortly.
But again, just to emphasize what you just said just now, is that if you have something that's wrong in your place, I guess Frank or Bob is offering to come. Okay, Frank or Bob are offering to come over and at your expense, but they'll fix the toilets if it's running or whatever, right?
Yes.
Okay, but you pay with cards,
We'll put
Mhm. Okay.
okay?
That's nice.
All right, and, okay, grounds.
Oh, I got nothing. We're. Just kick back.
They can't hear you.
Yeah, we're just doing what we have to do. What we do best. Yeah, that's it.
On Cliff's retirement, replacing Cliff.
First of the year.
First, do we have somebody in place?
No, sir. Gotta be got by the 3 residents, I would think. To see if we're gonna have 1 or 4 people, because you got 6 contracts with the two garbage and the other 4. So I don't know how they're gonna.
Well, one of the things that we're just going to recommend is that to get together, have with Cliff to get a list of all the things that he does, because there's so many things that he does that we, like somebody said, like he fixes the pipes too. Well, that has nothing to do with landscaping. It has, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like we've got to get that list from him and then find out. I know that there are a couple of individuals that have been shown some interest. I don't know how far that has gone, other than to say, hey, keep me in mind, kind of a thing. I don't know how loosey-goosey that has been as well myself, but we talked about it today, and we definitely have to get with Cliff and the presidents of to first decide whether or not all 3 of us want to go together and on whatever the decisions are. And it looks like that's what is anticipated. I haven't, one is still in some turmoil right now, so I haven't had opportunity other than to talk to Barb Campanile, who is she's the vice president. She's been taking in charge. Okay, so she has some thoughts of that as well, and so does Terry from Section 3. So we do want to get together. We want to hopefully approach this uniformly so that we're not doing 3 different contracts and 3 different businesses that we're dealing with, et cetera. So, yes. Yeah, it does. I know. Yeah, I know. It's just like right now, some people have been out of town and all that kind of stuff. So now it's settling down a little bit. So we'll get together. So we've already talked about it. We haven't.
We'll never replace.
No. I mean, there's no way. We probably, no. I agree. So, but yes, we have to get some kind of a list together to find out what it is that we need to hold someone accountable for. Okay, all right, we have a new pool maintenance company that has just come in, and so far, with the 2 weeks that he's been on board, everything's been going very well, and we seem to be very happy with him. I'm not sure exactly how much he's charging. I think it's less than what it was that the other guy was charging, but I don't recall. I don't want to give you a number and it's not correct. Art and his wife and some other folks are volunteering, and they're painting the tables around the pool. They've just resurfaced them, and now they're in the process of painting them, and they're also restrapping of the chairs, and the lounges are also continuing. Okay. So that's recreation. I'm going to the other stuff.
Okay, this is from the POM meeting on June the 18th. It wasn't a very long meeting, so it was the trash area again, as always discussed. The company that does the trash pickup is now fully staffed and should be picking up trash as per the contract. Bulk pickup is done when the truck is fully manned, I guess it is now that they've got that the trash on the bulk pickup is done when the truck is available.
We get through.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and there is going to be a sign put up that any resident who enters the pit area will be doing it at their own risk. That's it. You want to go in there? You want to step on a nail? Don't go in there. Find another way. The security gate, there's also going to be a sign put up at the security gate that IDs are required when you go through the guard side of the gate. It's required now, but people get up to the gate and they are fumbling with their wallet and everybody's backed up behind them. So they're gonna put a sign up to kind of remind people, get your ID out. So there will be a sign up for that. Most of the tags have been put up on all the cars. Some of the seasonal residents who didn't get them done before they left, they will have to go through the guard gate and show their ID until they go to their section and get their sticker put on, but most of them have been done. Also, if you have food deliveries, if it's done by a motorcycle, it will not be permitted to come in. So hopefully you won't have your food delivered by a motorcycle because it's not coming in. And the resident is responsible to call in all of their vendors. A temporary cleaning person has been hired. George, who does it, is evidently not able to do it for a little bit. There will be no POA meetings in July or August. The meeting was adjourned at 10:35, so it wasn't a very long meeting.
Oh, dog.
Also, dogs are not permitted to be brought in by non-residents or residents, and the dogs are not service dogs at all.
And they have to produce papers.
Oh, and if they do come in, you have to produce the papers?
Yeah, they have to produce them.
Produce the papers that the dog is actually a service dog. Okay?
Or an emotional
Yeah,
support dog.
emotional support dog. They can't just say it's an emotional support dog. They have
Right.
to have documentation for it. Okay.
And they do have documentation, those that have been approved. For the emotional support.
Which units are next on the list for new roofs? Which units are next on the list for new roofs?
Anyone that has not been, the new roofs will be put onto the 37 buildings that have not had roofs put on. So if you haven't had that, we haven't put a schedule out yet.
No, it's good.
Okay.
It'll go out soon.
Okay.
The
To
schedule
replace
for
the-
roofs, the next batch of roofs to be done. And
We've-
what the schedule will be, how they will be rotated.
Okay, so that as soon as that's available, it will be posted. And that should be certainly within the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Linda.
Oh.
That's-
Yes. Okay.
Short meeting, so it wasn't very long.
I got one question. Roofs will all be done nice and good. We get a hurricane, comes through and takes off half. We have the money paid, get them redone.
We have insurance.
Insurance for that.
We have to pay a deductible.
Our deductible is fairly small.
Yeah, it's,
They have enough to pay.
Yeah, well, it's a what if, you know, what if it tears off your shitty roof? You still gotta pay for it.
Right. I know. I just want to make sure that it's money paid to deductibles if we do have bad.
yes,
So what is money?
yes. Well, we have deferred maintenance, and deferred maintenance, we have just over $100,000. And that's for unexpected. That's specifically for unexpected expenses. So that's where we would get the money from. Okay,
Yeah, one more question.
okay.
So, hang on. I'm old when it comes to me. You were talking about we're gonna be having 2 more rentals in section 2.
Yes,
They're bought by a company that's all they do is run them out.
no, they're owned by family members. And in one particular case, someone passed away, both the husband and the wife passed away, and the people that inherited don't want to sell. They would prefer to rent it. So we do a background check. They go through the same thing that a new buyer would go through.
Consider rentals. How many rentals are we allowed to? Female.
80% cannot, 20% can be rentable, yes. But we are not anywhere near close to that. Yeah, we're not we might have, I think it was 7 when we counted, 7. Right now we have 7, and there'll be, and those 3 rentals, one of them is in that 7, so there'll be 9 now. Mhm.
We heard once the place is vacated for a rental, that they have to wait 6 months before it can be rented again. Is that a true statement or?
They can only rent one time in 1 year. One time in 1 year. So if they rent it for 3 months, that's the minimum, 90 days. They rent it, they can't, they've got to go another 9 months before they can rent it again. No, there's no month to month. And you can only rent one time. Minimum is 90 days, and that's, yes, it could. Well, if someone still owns it, so they still are accountable for it.
Holds out, bugs come and gets into the restaurant.
Well, all I can, no, I mean, if we know about it and, they just went into all the empty ones, everyone that's literally not occupied, they went into except for those 5 that they didn't have, keys for. And you've spoken to some of the people with the, what they found. Okay, and as I said, they found 2 hot water heaters, as I recall, that need to be replaced. So they've had others that, had dripping, but the water's turned off. So this, that kind of stuff. So all we can do is that kind of thing. So
And the owner lives directly across the street from the apartment, which is next charge. And right now things look like they're okay. But if they go back and they go someplace, it's gonna be an entire year before someone else comes in. And that was the problem the last time.
well, it's whether they rent it or it's a snowbird. We have no way of. I understand, but what I'm trying to say. Okay, sometimes it's snowbirds that rent out. Sometimes it's snowbirds that rent out. Anything that's empty, we went into. Okay, anything that's not occupied, Frank and Bob went into and inspected every single one of those units. So if you know that one has been empty for any amount of time, I guess you could give us a call and we can go and check it or whatever, but I mean, they're responsible for that. We're not. Okay, so, that's the owner's responsibility to make sure that everything's okay with that, because, we've had that. Yeah. Correct.
That's the problem. Because if somebody doesn't.
Well, the owner then needs to come down and check on it. Whoever owns it. Well,
It's still like- even if you had I'm sorry.
Unless a disaster happens.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Here, I'm assuming there are seasonal people here that only come 3 or 4 months. They don't rent their units out. They're gone for 9 months. But it's basically the same thing.
They want to turn their hair off.
Yeah, that's their prerogative, And most of the people who know about Florida and you own that place and you're just here seasonal, they're not gonna let their place turn to mold. Believe me, they are not gonna do it. We were gone for several months in the summertime and we didn't have a bit of mold in our place at all.
Yeah.
Now, if they're still gone a wrong amount of time.
Okay,
The same thing.
there's an owner of the unit that they're rent.
basic of periodic.
It's the same thing.
And
It's the same thing. Okay.
rent that. And they leave it. There's a whole time period of nobody there.
Okay, some snowbirds,
And not
well, two snowbirds. Some snowbirds only, what we're talking about right now is what happens when a unit, whether it's a snowbird or it's a renter, when they leave, when it's empty. I mean, it's the owner, whoever owns it, whether the owner of the person that rents it out, the owner is the person who rents it out, or the owner could be a snowbird that comes down 2 weeks a year, and the rest of the time it's empty. There's nothing we can do about that.
No. If you're the owner and you choose to come only 2 weeks a year, nobody has anything to say, especially if you're paying your fees, you're paying everything up front.
That's
And you're-
exactly what we're saying. That's
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's not, it's nobody's business. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. We have no power other than if it's been empty for a while and we feel as though something might be wrong. We see
Yes,
what's coming out, then, or there's something that gives us an idea that there might be something wrong. We have every right in the world for 2 board members to go in, check
Oh,
it. So,
yes.
and that's what we just did. The ones that have been empty for a long time, that's what, as I said, Bob and Frank went in there and checked all of them. So
That's a smart business move.
so-
And also it's a caring move.
yes. Yeah, I mean, it's, obviously, we're all owners here. You know what I mean? Everybody that's
Yes.
sitting here, somebody owns every single building that's here. Let's put it that way. So there's got to be somebody that's got to be caring about that unit and how it's being taken care of. So
Yes,
anyway, and we should be looking out for our neighbors anyway, so
exactly.
Joanne?
I have a problem. One of the questions I have, Marty and maybe others, do we have any way of getting emergency, as we called it, in case you can't come in?
Oh,
Whenever, yeah.
there.
Any way we-
They've just asked about the emergency gate at the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we did open it up during that last big flood that we had here. We had it open. But the front gate was closed.
We do have access.
Yes.
The other question that I was going to ask is, is it being paid? What is the collateral? Am I moving forward here?
Okay, that's the next thing on the agenda.
Oh, that,
Mhm.
I didn't
Okay,
know.
that's okay.
Like I said, I can ask these questions.
Sure. Right.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so the roofing. The mindset behind doing this is basically it's at this point, it's almost impossible to get. Is someone asking a question? I'm sorry.
No,
Oh.
just need to.
Okay, if you are going to be, okay, my roof is 2005, okay? And I'm trying to renew my insurance. And what's just happened just now is because my wind mitigation report, because of the clip, says 5+ years. It was done in 2022. Okay, so that logic says it's less than 5 years now. It could be less than, and it doesn't necessarily, but the insurance companies are saying it's less than 5 years. They will not insure us. Okay, so that's number one. That's what we started. We had people having that experience and we said, we've got to do something about this. The second thing is that what's fair is fair. Okay. The first set of roofs that we did, the 20 that we did were 28,500.
Yeah.
Almost 29,000, 25, anyway, almost 29,000. The second set of routes, the nine that we did, that we were told we had to do because they didn't pass the 5 years, okay, those we ended up paying 32,500 for. So just in the 4 or 5 months time between that time frame, it went up over $3,000. So now we have two things now that we have to be considering, okay? Prices are going up and we can't get insured. Okay, so neither one of those things are good. So that's when we started to do some talking to say, okay, what can we do about this? So Art decided to go out and he was going to check and see what was going on. He's been checking numbers. He and Diane have been checking numbers very, very closely. So what happened is that Frank pretty much gave, we sent out the 3 different bids, correct?
Yes, we got 3 bids.
Okay, one came back at 34, thereabouts. Another one came back at 32. Okay, and then there was one for 28. The one for 28, however, that company has only been in business for less than a year. So as much as the price was good, that's not someone we wanted to, I mean, it could have been excellent. The company could have been an excellent company. We don't know. Okay, but it just, because it was in business for less than a year. So now one of the companies was All Area Roofs. Now, there have been minor complaints about All Area Roofs, but any complaint that we've had, they've come and they've addressed. Okay, so we have nothing outstanding, nothing. So we decided to, let's see what we could do. Frank decided he was going to negotiate with them. Well, apparently he's pretty experienced in negotiating. Okay, because he got us down to
29.
29. Okay, which was the same thing that we paid for the first 20. Okay, instead of the 32 and change, almost 30. Okay, so that was one thing. Okay, so now once we got that kind of bargain, okay, not, well, yes, bargain. Once we got those numbers together, Art went out and started to search for how we could fund it. Okay, he found a company that all they do is loan money to HOAs and condo associations and co-ops. That's all they do. That's their only business. And it's basically to do upgrades. It's not to make it pretty, nice. It's to put roofs up, with new windows in, whatever that it might be, okay, that they're responsible for. So he's another person who is also experienced and has good negotiating skills, etc. So we came up with just over $1 million to do all of our roofs, just over $1 million to do all of our roofs with that, the 29,000 per roof and everything else that was included. So now what he also did was he's met with them several times, met with these people. They also, Diane and he have been working on, okay, how can we make this work for us? Okay. One of the ways that we can make this work for us is that we're not having to do, how much are we paying? $3,000 just for roof repairs, right? We've been paying about $3,000 average for roof repairs, okay, which, you know, in sometimes it's roofs that have 2 repairs. So sometimes it's $1,000, sometimes it's $800, sometimes it's $2,000, but okay, but it's averaging out to a couple of thousand anyway. So that money is just kind of being flushed. Okay, so all of those things being taken into consideration, they work the numbers. Diane and Art worked the numbers. Obviously, we gave our impact as well. The other board members gave impact as well. And it turns out now that with all things being said, once we take out, Diane, you're probably going to have to explain. It comes out to be, I'm sorry to put you on the spot this way, but it comes out.
What you're looking for exactly?
Well, what we're looking for is how much of an increase. We're not going to have to pay an assessment. Okay, no assessment. Okay, it's it's the $1 million we would have had to have spent over the years,
How many years do we have?
10 years,
10 years.
10 years. Okay,
So what we're gonna do is fund the reserves lots that we have. Most of them. We're not trying to say we're going to pay off this loan. Then we'll be a little bit short on that, but it'll work.
Are we still going to be able to be putting money into our?
Yes.
reserve?
yes, yes.
Because we always have.
But we'll have. Yes,
Well,
and then we have, yes, but then we have. Yes, but not as much as we normally. But then we have 10 years to make up that difference after we pay off the loan. Because you won't have to do a lot. You have to do the roofs for 20 years and the loan will be paid off in 10 years. So we have 10 years to catch it up.
So anyway, it turned out after all of the investigation and again, Art's not here, his family's in town, so he's spending time with them. If you have further questions, I've asked as many questions as I can think of. Everybody else that's on the board has been doing the same thing, asking all of these questions. And so far, everything has really been very good. The interest rate that we'll get is somewhere around 6%. Okay, it could be 5.9 and it could be 6.1. Those are the two that we've been quoted right now. It'll be sometime it's somewhere in between those. Now, I just finished signing all the things that I need to sign. Art has already signed everything that he's needed to sign. Is there anybody, did you have to sign? Okay, so just Frank and I have been the two that have been signing for all of this. Mhm.
The question,
Us. Yeah. Okay, we have an excellent rating. Okay, we pay all of our bills.
I said I.
Yes, okay, I'm just saying that's why we've had no issue, and that's why we're getting a lower interest rate now. The rates didn't go up again this time, thankfully, so we should be still in that same ballpark for the 5.9 to 6.1% on that. And that being said, we figured out what the amount would have to be every year. Do you have know that off the top of your head that we would have to pay?
The loan payment.
Yes.
About 12,000 a month.
Okay, so and right now, what are we paying?
We don't have a loan.
No, for reserves.
12,500.
Okay,
But we still have to.
so we're paying 12.5 now for reserves. And what we would have to pay going forward is 12,000. Okay, that's probably
The 10 years ago.
100, yes, right, right. But the point I'm trying to make is that we've kept it as flat as we possibly could. And that's part of the reason when you think about all the stuff that we've done, the only thing that is anywhere near to be in the near future is painting. Everything else we've done the roads, we did the recreation area, you know, the roofs will all be done. So the only thing is painting. And right now I won't say we have enough money to cover it all, but we're very close to it. And I think we've got 3 or 4 more years before we have to, you know, that we're guaranteed on the paint. So we're still in that comfortable. Okay. So that's part of the reason why also, and we're going to weigh all of this stuff, but is flood insurance really necessary? Section 3 does not have it. They have one it's kind of a pseudo. It's not a full thing like we have for replacement and all that kind of stuff. They have some kind of reimbursement, but it's a very low amount. And Section 1 does not have flood insurance. And the reason they don't is because when they do that analysis for the cost benefit, et cetera, and the risk, it comes out to be not something that we need to do. Okay. And if you were here when Anthony was here last week, he approached that to some extent. He also our hands have been tied because we are compelled by our condo docs to get flood insurance. Okay, so we haven't been able to really do anything about it, but now where the rubber hits the road now is that if we don't have to pay $94,000 or whatever it's going to be, that's going to go into reserves. You know what I mean? Like all of that. So, you know what I mean? So, and then also what Frank is doing right now with checking where the leaks are and all that kind of stuff, that helps as well. I mean, there were how many that had significant leaks?
It was 6 or 8 that we identified problems.
So, you know, like these are ones that have been empty. Nobody's there, you know, and so it's kind of like we're caught between a rock and a hard place. We're trying to do all that we can do. And we're just going to keep going that way, you know. So now it's going to be the people that are here resident, you know, give us a call. We'll come over and check. If you have something that's going, you know, is going wrong, they can tell you what the parts need to be. And Bob and Frank will put them in for you. Unless if a plumber is required, no. We're talking just, you know, putting in the guts to
Simple stuff.
you know, the simple stuff, putting it up.
I'm changing the subject, Kathy, but I went back to what all Cliff does, including picking up garbage, which I'm assuming. Have we thought about who's gonna pick up our garbage after,
We've already spoken to,
do that again, like section 3s where they're still laying there.
that's the point. Yeah, we don't want that. And so, yeah, are we asking the questions? Are we trying to find the source? You know, Frank's background, I think I've mentioned this before, he's been doing this for a long time. And so, and he has so much experience, so he knows people, okay? And it pays to know people, you know, when you're in, you know what I mean? So,
Between
He knows a guy.
Cliff and Steve and Palmer, they knew everybody.
exactly.
Somebody heard that at the other meeting that you mentioned about a $13 increase in smart assessment, our maintenance in the fall, but as of now, which to me sounds logical, there's no way you can tell where our utilities, our insurance.
Exactly. That's exactly, right now, if all things being equal, if everything stayed the same, it would probably be about $13 for an increase.
Insurance is gonna be out. Because people are individual homeowners.
Yes, I'm just doing mine and it doubled. I've never had a claim. I don't have a new roof, but I'm saying, but even the people that have new roofs, yeah. No, it shouldn't be. That's the point we're trying to make, is that, right. And so that's why we're trying to get as many things done that we can get done to keep it down. You know what I mean? So like one thing with the water, I mean, the gallons of water that we use are just astronomical. Okay, don't be mad at me for mentioning water again, okay? But the gallons are astronomical. I mean, and they keep increasing. So there's got to be something that's happening. So they're even going out there and they're looking to see drains, the sewage drains and all that. I mean, they're doing all that they can do, and they found a couple of places that potential, they may not be, but they're potential. And, you know, so we're trying to be as proactive as we possibly can with identifying places. So, and that's part of your responsibility too, and my responsibility as residents. If you have puddles, you know, let us know. You know what I mean? Especially when it's dry. You know what I mean? Like right now, people are going to have puddles, okay? Because we've had so much rain, the ground can't absorb it anymore. So, yes.
Well, there's also a thought process here. Hey, I don't get a water bill. I'm not paying for the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. It's in your HOA. And if we can't get this water under control, there goes some more, you know.
Yeah.
Money on the HOA.
And we're on a commercial rate. And why can't we get off that?
Don't have an answer for
I
that.
have a question that I need to have answered. If it's not water moving upward in that patio outside, okay, into the floor of your patio, even though it's an enclosed patio. And water is coming up through, so you can see it in the grout lines. Is that one of the problems that you
You could, that means you could have a water leak underneath your slab. Yeah.
secondary this way? You mentioned about a company that does your windows, and it's going to be coming and it's capable of doing problem windows.
No, we never talked about windows. No, we never brought up windows. Other than Buster talking about closing your shutters when you want, for hurricane.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a broken window, then a window pane will replace that. But, and if there's something, if you,
It's around, okay, you're laying in bed, you feel this cold breeze coming through. So we went, we got the weatherization from Fort Pierce Utility. So they did the weatherization, but it's still happening. On hot day, really hot air, it's blowing, you can feel it. And I'm wondering, is there anybody here that's had the similar problem, or they can come and do a better seal
Well,
than what they were doing?
what we can do is put it right on the ticket. We'll come and look at it for you and give you the name of someone that can come and fix it for you.
Okay, so I should just write.
Yeah, just write a ticket and Bob and I will come and look at it and see if we can figure out what it is.
We had to replace our windows. Windows. It was freezing in the winter time.
Yeah.
They're double pane windows.
Places in the water was off.
Believe it or not, everyone was on. Yeah, they were all on. So people are doing the right thing.
Buster,
Yeah.
back to your hurricane preparation. I think it's important that somehow we get out that people need to remove like all the pots that are outside and stuff.
Yes.
10:03. Run. Marty, you know the one that you mow.
your favorite.
That lady put everything down. It's loaded with all kinds of stuff there that will be projected.
Yeah.
We get heavy winds. Check off the bust through winter.
Maybe the,
For those on Zoom that, they've just mentioned that all things should be removed from your patio, all the pots and things that you have out on your patio. You have to remember that when we have, a hurricane warning, and you need to make sure that you're getting ready to bring all those things inside.
First up. Area. Right now, you know where it is.
Trimmed back the back of it and then they went and trimmed it more, not us,
I know.
people there. I didn't even know about it.
So much stuff back there. That's not near the house. Out. Wait.
Okay, well, if you're aware of it, you can make us aware of it. Fill out a form. Those forms are critically important to us because we're making sure that we have, we're putting them into folders when it's appropriate. That if we've had a number of complaints, okay, about moving pots and pan, whatever that's out there. I mean, we've had stuff in the middle of the yard, I think, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we had someone that actually planted empty wine bottles in the front yard because it looked pretty. So I'm just saying, huh?
One was right.
Well, I'm just, yeah. So anyway, but I'm just saying, we have all kinds of stuff that happens. Well, we can't, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're out and about and all that kind of stuff, but if you see it, Frank will come over, but Buster will come over, somebody will come over, Marty will come over to check it. You know what I mean? That's all we can do is check it and see what's going on, and if you're, I know in section 1, there's someone that just, think he's been living here for 4 years and has never seen the person that lives on the side of them. It's been empty the whole time and no one's ever come there. And so he was finally fed up and said, you know, somebody's got to go in there and look and see what's going on because I've got little bugs coming in. Well, sure enough, I mean, so you can imagine what they went in, and these guys, I know I've heard the stories about when they go in there, they're roaches or dead roaches and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, it's, yeah.
I think it would be great to have put newsletters and provide. I have a neighbor that doesn't put the garbage out, but only once a week. And I'm sure it's just like getting cheap because the bag isn't full. And, you know, it's, and it, I smell the smell, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't know how, you know, like just.
Well,
just
and
let's encourage people to-
we're putting out as many reminders, if you'll notice. No, but what I'm saying is in these newsletters, as things come up, we put a reminder, a friendly reminder, and that's what we call them. So,
Newsletters always people with electronics. They're not delivered over the phone. A lot of these sit on home.
yeah. Yeah, you know, there are some people that are just physically unable to do things. And when that happens, if they let the office know, Marty's helped to clear things out. Frank and Bob certainly have, Buster has, you know, as I said, come to the office, talk to us, write up we'll work with you. I mean, there's some people that are in here right now that know that we have worked with you. You know, it's just like, we don't know what, if it's not broken, if we don't know it's broken, we can't fix it. So until you let us know, you know, so, and that's the word, that's all I can say. I mean, you've heard me say this. If you have a question, come to the office. If you have a question, call the office. If you have a question, come, you know what I mean? You know, as I said, the only time one person called me at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I just, please don't call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Is there an update about the spotters? I'm just trying to set to get them out.
We're in process right now. We have July 20th.
18.
Whatever. Okay, sometime in July. That's the earliest date that we can get our lawyers together and those people together and us together. So yes, we are meeting and they've already been served and all that kind of stuff. So no, there's not. We will do it when it's all done. So, I mean, we have the monthly, I know exactly what legal is charging us, and when you look at, you can see the names of people, if it's a particular person or the address of the person, so that that's how we keep track of, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
And so the police, they just said it's a civil.
Yeah, it's very convoluted right now, to be honest with you, because we don't know who really owns it. Okay, because nothing was filed. Even though we pretty much got to swear to the death that everything had been done appropriately, okay, but there's no one that rightfully owns it. Okay, so none of the papers were filed. There's a will, but it was never filed.
Where is this?
It's in our section 2.
Check the tax rules, whose name was listed on it.
But the person who's dead. That's what yeah, it's been a very. Okay, so we now have all the information that we need. I'm sorry.
And voting.
And voting too.
Twice.
So don't you start trouble now. It's there's a lot of things that go on in the office that we're trying to put our arms around. We can't do it unless we know about it. So if we know, we'll do. So
We're not.
anybody on Zoom?
No.
Okay, everything good? All righty, let me just make sure. Oh, Service dogs, and you just mentioned this before, but if you have a visitor that's coming that has a service dog or has a emotional support dog, they have to have the paperwork to bring that dog in. If not, they don't bring the dog in. So, and there's no exceptions to that. The service dog in particular, they should have something in their wallet or whatever. Sometimes it's something, it's on the dog's or the animal's neck or whatever it might be. The emotional support dogs, that's a letter that we've gotten that we've made a copy of and is in the folder for those people that have emotional support dogs. So don't begrudge it. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that we've had people that come in with 2 and 3 dogs, and what they've said is they're emotional support dogs. Well, there's no way of knowing that, and we don't want dogs that don't belong here. So, so we're just going to make sure so you can, that should definitely go into the minutes and make sure that you, all right. So, the other thing too, real quick, is electricity has been going a little bit higher too. It's not as bad now, obviously, because we have we have the snowbirds gone. But we have to make sure that if you're using this at any time, there's no problem with you putting the air conditioning on to a lower temperature while you're here, but just make sure that you shut it off. You put it back up to 78 before you leave. Make sure that these slider doors are also closed, and make sure that all the lights are off, okay, before you leave. And we've been saying this over and over again, but just, you know, if anybody says, what did you talk about at the meeting? You can say, we got a reminder again, okay, because the electricity has gone up as well.
Excuse me. How many people here have had their electricity accentuated from where it used to be a year or more ago? $200 in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Then you've got a problem.
You got that window. Oh, like meetings on side windows.
About 200.
How old is your AC?
No, see,
Our AC is 2 years old.
Oh, then, I'll have someone.
our AC is nothing new, our water heater.
When you keep your age.
What do you see? Yeah, what do you see? Yeah.
80.
80. You got a big one.
And did you,
Keep mine at 69 at night. And 78 during the day, and my bill isn't anywhere near.
We dropped it to
So
70.
you have a meter problem or something.
We've had a check, they said the meter's fine. I don't know what's going on.
I had Fort Pierce Utilities come out 2 years ago when this started. And I had pretty much a fight with him. Finally, Sonia Gomez sent somebody and pulled out the meter.
yeah,
There had been a fire in the meter and they had to contact the board to replace the
Sure.
meter. And a little bit later, we're checking to see, oh, good, they fixed it, right? No, still not fixed. And so we talked with them again and we did the weatherization program with them. Okay, they did the, what's it called? The
Insulation.
Oh, everything, the water thing, you know,
Yeah.
this and that. And, you know, they spent like what, $3,000 or $5,000 on our house to do that. And very happy about it, but it did not lower the AC.
Now, didn't you say that you have a warm breeze that comes in your,
Yes,
well,
sir.
I would get that addressed first.
Where does that
I
come?
don't know what
Before
to-
you
Windows.
have new windows put in it. That's what I had to do with mine. Has anybody, has anyone ever opened the electric panel, checked all the breakers and all of that?
Well,
Yeah.
Renee did.
Yes, they have.
Another electrician did.
Yeah, they checked, they said
Another
everything's good.
electrician coming.
They said everything's good in there.
Yeah, heat coming in on the windows, that's where you're gonna get it.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, but if it's set at 80, that's not. That's, it's.
Yeah, the Fort Pierce Utilities claimed that they sealed the outside of the windows and doors.
Ooh,
And they were there in the house and they said they.
Fort Pierce Utilities?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
and
called them. They called them to do,
Conversation.
you can call and they'll do that.
So we did. I had to come back in later and they were supposed to be doing it again. If it's, you know,
I think the windows.
yeah, see, that was 2020, and now it's 2023, and the problem is still.
Okay, well. So what is that FPUA making any kind of a suggestion?
I would like to know, they not.
They're not. Okay,
We went on the budget building, and now they're charging us double for being on.
Right,
the building.
because they want to get back money that was higher during those months.
I don't need to call them. Call that fee.
So we're paying 130 for the budget billing, plus another 149 on top of that.
Great, it's
But
crazy.
before that, that's where we were in the $200 range.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a really bad ass problem,
yeah,
okay?
It's
And
terrible.
I really don't know how to fix this on a low budget.
yeah.
Everybody got any idea?
I'll come look at it. and give you my see what I find.
Another set of
I'll come another set of eyes.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
I say we blow this box down.
Okay, make a motion.
I move we blow this box down.
In other words, okay,
That's-
okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Bye-bye, everyone.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was very nice.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
meeting adjourned.
That's Diane.
If you have a question, you can still ask. We're still around.